I'm hanging around with somebody that just to we're talking about a lot of personal stuff, and using a lot of that language, stuff like that, that I really know. So, hey, if they come back on and let me on, I want to ask you a question. The AC talk, and everyone get up there, if you need to, I guess. People up there have a question. Yeah. I don't know if they let me on. I don't know if they let me on. I put my hand up. I'm kind of looking for a word, looking for, a song I have is, I don't have no words that come out here. I want to, look at the word. I do something about it yesterday. I don't know if you guys are weird to me. Okay. Okay. What the hell? And then you, word that says fight the, I think it's Steve from Buffalo. I think it's Steve from Buffalo. Where it talks about continued fighting. I'm a little bit better, but I'm a little restless. I feel like I can go out now. I don't feel like I need to be home and sleep anymore. I do have to make more better. Yeah, let's see if we can help me out again. Let's see if we can help me out. Oh, my voice is bad. My voice, this is always the problem with this computer. You do it. Sounds bad. You can't hear me. We're talking about something I wanted to talk about. But I wanted to get in and talk about sickness. Because the guy mentioned sickness. Somebody mentioned sickness. He sounded like he, well, I pretty much am. I'm in a tiny little room, so it sounds like a cage. You can help me set me up. يمكن بطلة القاتلون حتى لا يشوفون فتنة. So it is accurate. I think that we are to talk about this. They're ignoring me, talking about nothing. I'm waiting for their echoing message. Really? I don't know what to do about these guys. Yeah, this is my computer and everything, and I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. I don't know. I think I don't know. If I take Okay. Can you hear me now? Because I unmuted it. Did that help? Is it better now? Okay. Yeah. So I don't know if they'll let me in. You know, Israel didn't do anything. So Israel, you never you should do unto others that you want them to be. Right? You should find a way to surgically do this, right? I just want to explain something. Those guys, the Palestinians, who are in Gaza, 75% people don't work, and every wife gives birth to 17 child. Okay, to grow up and become jihadist. The woman in Gaza, she raised her children to become jihadis. Just for you to know, there even like a few years ago, a woman like would put the explosive belt on her own children, two boys, uh, to go bomb Jews. We had a video, even recording. I don't know if somebody saw it. It just released like yesterday or something. It's all over Facebook. That a man calling his dad and his mom and telling him, "I killed 10 Jews," and they so happy, they cried, and and all that. These people grow up just to hate and just want to kill. And in spite of the they receive lots of billions of dollars into Gaza. Men stay all the day in the house and do nothing, and you just get money for nothing. And they give birth to a lot of children. Their job is to make them army to attack Israel. Since they are in kindergarten, their teaching is to kill the Jews. And that's we watched when we are children in the Middle East, how they teach kids, and we see it even our TVs. I remember to this day how the Palestinians have in their kindergarten and what the teacher teaches them. I saw it with my own eyes. Israel opened their gates for them, for those Palestinians, men and women,
to get in and have jobs there in Israel and receive salary by dollar, like with dollars, so they can make their life better. Because Hamas, they don't produce a job for you. They don't. This is not their job. Their job only to take any help and to make weapons to attack Israel. I'm just showing you. So those all the men who entered Israel, they know their way around. They know everything because they work every day in these areas. They were actually workers that Israel paid them to make their life better. Okay, just for you to understand this. When you go to Sinai, I just want to clarify something about Sinai. Palestinians fight in Egypt for the last 13 years. Since 2011 up to this day, we had lots of Egyptian soldiers died in Sinai every day because of the attack of the Palestinians on us every day. We the Egyptians don't stop refugees, and we had the Syrians, we had the Iraqis. But the Syrians and the Iraqi, when they entered Egypt, they did business. They were peaceful people. They had no problem. We had no problem with them. They actually raised the economy of Egypt. The Syrian people, they did food business. If you go in Egypt, you find all the Syrians, all the one who took over the food business in Egypt today are the Syrian people. You know what I mean? Why? Because they came in, they made business, they raised the economy of Egypt. These people want to live. These people will open our doors to them, and they make Egypt better. But in 2011, when the Palestinians get in, they set streets on fire, cars on fire, police stations on fire, open prison, let the Muslim Brotherhood out, give them help them till they become in office, and then the reward for them, Muslim Brotherhood promised them to give them Sinai to become their base, army base to attack Israel from Sinai. And that's when the Egyptians realized this fact that Sinai is going to the Palestinians. They raised against كان اسمه ايه بتاع المسلم brother, the Muslim Brotherhood president, I don't know what's his name. Morsi. We raised against him. Millions went in the streets to kick him out, and we kicked him out, and the army took over and freed them from freed Sinai from them. But from 2013, after we kicked them out, the Palestinians got in and burned 80 with the Muslim Brotherhood, because the leaders of Muslim Brotherhood, they belong to the Muslim Brotherhood. They are one, but these Muslims Brotherhood of Palestine, of Palestinians, and the Muslim Brotherhood are the ones of Egyptians. They are the same thing. Brothers, like there is no difference between them. They're just different names. So 2013 and 2014, like between both of those, between those 2 years, they knew that the Christian had big part to play in this to kick Morsi out. They get out, helped the Muslim Brotherhood, and burned our churches. Since then, Egypt fights to free Sinai from them over and over again. We had lots of soldiers, Christian and Muslim, die every day by their own hands. So tell me, how Egypt is like, how Egypt need, like, how stupid Egypt need to be to open their border for all those terrorists to come in? That would be so stupid. So that's just to clarify Egyptian situation. We're not like against refugees to enter. We want refugees to enter, like Syrian people, like Iraqi people. They came in and helped Egypt. They didn't raise hell in Egypt and destroyed Egypt like Palestinians did. The same thing Palestinians did in Iraq. They did in Jordan. They did in Syria. Anywhere those Palestinians enter a place, they want to destroy it. They want to take over it in order to fight Israel from.
But in Iraq, we did something different. Like Iraqi people, they did something different to Palestinians. They started to kill them back, and they send them to the desert between Iraq and Syria. You live in the tents where you belong. That's the difference. Yeah, we fighting them in Sinai too, but we didn't. Mubarak himself, when he testified in the court for 2011, he said the people who burned the police station and did all that were the Palestinians, with they recorded with their Palestinian accent, Arabic accent. So we knew that they are, with the testimony of Mubarak himself.
I was in Gaza when I don't know if you guys remember I lived in Gaza from 1999 to 2007. From 2001 to 2007, and I was there when there was an opening in the wall it's in Rafah, between the Palestinian Rafah and the Egyptian Rafah. The one that's on the Palestinian side, the one that's on the Egyptian side, and there were three openings in the wall, one for Fatah, one for Hamas, one for Jihad. And I went through the Fatah opening, and I am an American citizen, but I'd been living there for like 6 years. And so I went out with them, and we went down to, what's it called? Arish, and we had in the Sinai, and we bought everything, everything that's in the stores we bought. It was the first time Palestinians have been let out of Gaza for like 30 years. And the stores, all the stores in the Sinai there along the coast there, they were saying, "Welcome Palestinians, welcome, welcome." And then someone put a Palestinian flag or something on the police station. And there was some issues, and then we all had to go back. And so, but I remember that day. It was actually kind of a joyful day in Gaza, because it was the first time they'd been able to get out of there for 30 years. And, so yeah, anyway, just the stuff you guys were talking about made me remember that. So.
Like I have a villa in Arish till now, I cannot sell it. Because the Palestinian terrorism and killing the army and stuff there, and I cannot sell the villa till now, or up to today, cannot sell it.
Mm-hmm.
Stop.
You have a villa there?
Yeah, I have a villa.
Man, you're rich.
Well, I cannot sell it. I can't. It's like you can't sell it because no one want to buy an area. The terrorists there, and they killing people. They wanna and remove the Egyptians so they can stay in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the only answer for this is the Lord Jesus. The only answer is the gospel. That's, I lived there for 6 years, and I'm Palestinian, from the West Bank. I'm from the West Bank, but when I first went there, I lived there almost 9 years. I lived 2 years in Jerusalem and then 6 years in Gaza. And while I was there is when Hamas took over, took over the Gaza Strip. And I remember I was hiding in my bathroom. They were shooting up everything, and they even shot my window. And it was very scary when Hamas took over. And they did it in 2 days, and they killed so many Palestinians. They killed so many Palestinians when they did their sweep through Gaza. And I'm going to say something, and I'm going to get in trouble, but I long for the day when Palestinians stop defending Hamas. I long for that day, and so.
No, that's 100% honest, because they're the ones bringing all of the problems, right? Unfortunately, the Islamic ideology supports Hamas, right? But this is why I try not to be unjust, because there's people like you who are going to be future great Christians who have love in your heart, who are lost and can be found, right? So I'm never, ever going to write off a whole group of people based off of the actions of, a group of them, right? So, like I said, you know, I could tell myself a whole bunch of stuff, right? If I wanted to do something awful to a group of people, then I would just recount all of the evil things that they did, right? And this is what the Muslims try to do. They say, well, what about 1948? We're not talking about 1948. We're not talking about 1967. We're not talking about 1992, 1998. We're talking about October 7th, what these cowards did on October 7th, right? So, because I don't like when they do that, I'm not going to do that. So I'm not going to go and be like, man, you know what? These people are worthless. So if something happens to them, then they were worthless from the jump. You see what I'm saying? So that's not, you'll never get me to do that, right? I don't believe that everybody, and even if they were all evil, right, I don't believe that it is my job to kill all of them or what have you, right? Jesus, in John 17, he has dominion over the flesh. Jesus has dominion over the flesh. So I would just, you know, like I said, I'm on the Lord's side, just like you said, Brother Hussein. I'm on the only answer is the gospel, right?
The only answer.
The only answer is the gospel.
Yeah.
So I'm with you on that.
Yeah, you know, I don't know if you guys watched they interrogated some of the terrorists, because, you know, they captured some of the terrorists, and and there's videos of the Israelis interrogating these terrorists, and they're asking them. They says, does the Quran tell you to go and kill women and kids like that? And they go, oh no, the Quran says not even to cut a tree down, you know. Yeah, and these guys are like, it's like, dude, did you guys even read the Quran? I mean, you do this, you're following an Islamic movement. I mean, Hamas literally has the word Islam in its name, you know, and you guys don't even know what your book says, you know. And there was a couple of the guys that they were interrogating who said, we were tricked, we were lied to by Khalid Mash'al and Ismail Haniyeh, the leaders of Hamas, who are, you know, living in their $1 million villas in Qatar right now. They said they lied to us, you know, and I mean, they still did unbelievable crimes. They did unbelievable, and they're, you know, going to spend the rest of their lives in jail. But, you know, they said we were tricked by these guys. And so many of these people, they haven't read the Quran. They don't know what the Quran says. And yet they're being duped by these liars who are, you know, living in $1 million villas in Qatar right now.
But Hussein, you need to understand something. The Israeli authority made them say that's not from Islam. Because Israel trying to teach Arab to be peaceful and tell them this is not Islam. Islam telling you to be peaceful, but this doesn't work because the authority in Egypt doing the same thing to Muslims and telling them you need to be Islam telling you to be peaceful. Islam the best religion and the religion of peace. Blah blah blah. But when the Muslim dive in their books, they realize that the truth is not that, and they are lying. So the Israeli authority make them say that, but they know.
So the Israelis make them lie to the public and say, "I was tricked. I really knew this was in the Quran." Let me say this. I was deployed as a former military person, and sometimes we would let people go. I mean, and what I'm about to tell you, you wouldn't believe, right? But this happens, right? So somebody goes into a road and they dig a hole, and they're putting a bomb in the hole for the Americans to drive over. So then you go